What is going on, Mavs fans? Welcome into another episode of Mavs Latest. I'm your host, Cody Brusso. Hopefully, you had a great Thanksgiving, but if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, hopefully you had a great Thursday out there, guys. Uh, on today's show, you know what it is. It's Friday. It's Fanfare Friday. We're going to be looking at some of your comments in the YouTube section, but we also got a game tonight, so we're going to be talking about Mavs versus Lakers. So we'll start this right off with Mavs versus Lakers. Let's jump right into the very first Cooper Flag versus Luka Doncic matchup. And again, guys, we have a top 5 defense with the worst offense out there going up against the number 7 offense with a 16th ranked defense. I think we all knew, the defense in LA wasn't going to be the best. But I didn't think it was going to be quite this bad with the people that they were surrounding. But honestly, they just overpower you. They've had a couple of sneaky wins. I mean, Austin Reeves going off. You know what I mean? Their record is 13-4, but do you think it should be 13-4, or do you think they got lucky a couple times? Either way, we're 5-14. They're 13-4. Lady Luck shined on them and not on us, and that's just the way it goes. Marcus Smart and DeAndre Ayton, both game time decisions. On the flip side for us, Derek Lively out, Dante Exum out, Kyrie Irving out, and Anthony Davis is actually upgraded to probable for this game. We'll see. 80% win percentage chance for the Lakers. We are going in as the major underdog. But I think we're okay with that. This is going down as another schedule loss, but you never know. We may need to take advantage of the fact that the Reeves, LeBron, Luka, trio is still putting the pieces together when they're all out on the court at the same time. So hopefully we can take advantage of that. We'll see. But jumping from that straight into the Fanfare Friday, where we're going to take a look at some of the comments that you guys have put in. And we'll start this one off with a two-parter. We're going to throw 2 comments up here. And our first one, not going to lie, I'm sorry, can't say the full name. I'm not exactly sure, but I think the first part is Guguru. So Guguru, this one goes to you. You say, I'm definitely Team Tank. We've already played the easiest part of our schedule and now have the second toughest remaining schedule in the league. I'd rather sell high on Gafford than low on Lively. After this next draft pick, the Mavs don't control another one until 2031. Anyone over 25 other than Dwight Powell should be for sale for picks or young players that fit Flag's timeline. Christopher Gray says, I'd rather keep Gafford over Lively. Lively is always hurt, even though he is the better talent, he can't stay healthy. Now, I know you're thinking, Cody, why'd you do 2? You've never done 2. Because I want to throw this out there. I agree with both. Now, I would rather sell high on Gafford than low on Lively if I knew Lively was coming back. But that's the thing, is they're talking about shutting Lively down for the entire season, and Lively hasn't shown me enough to say this guy is our future. He had one, bad injury and he'll be back. No, it's been constant injury. So why we're talking about getting rid of AD for the exact same thing that we're talking about with Lively here now. I don't want AD 2.0. So, where I understand you want the bigger bang for your buck, because you also maybe think you've got a talent in Lively. But if that talent is constantly in street clothes, it's not going to matter. That's just taking up a roster spot and taking up salary cap that could be used on somebody else. So I agree with you that, yes, I would rather trade high on trade high on Gafford than low on Lively. The fact of the matter is, we may be at a point where Lively just can't stay healthy, and we don't want to go back to we need a center. If you're a Mavs fan, how many years have we been saying we need a center? We need a center. Well, now we got a center. We have Gafford. So that's kind of where I go with it. And yeah, we do have the second toughest remaining schedule in the NBA. We tricked off our easy schedule. We tricked off our, very minimal, like 5 out of our 19 games have been away. That's insane to have that many home games to start the season. And we blew it. But is what it is. All we can do is look forward and kind of play the waiting game, because honestly, if they shut Lively down for the remainder of the season, we're probably not going to trade Gafford, and we're not going to move on from Lively. We're going to let Lively heal up and use Gafford, and then maybe make some moves during the offseason. But all we can do now is wait. Going on to the next one, we're going to look at Carnival God 34573. He says 36, 22, 47. That's the number of games Ball has played in each of the last 3 seasons. In my honest opinion, I'd look elsewhere. That's actually worse than AD's last 3 seasons by a margin. And I'm going to say this. Like, I agree with you there too, as in this looks worse than AD. But if you look back at 2022, 2023, Melo at the time was averaging 35 minutes. He was averaging 23 points, 6.4 rebounds, 8.4 assists, 1.3 steals out of those 36 games. When unfortunately, he came down hard and fractured his wrist. So they shut him down for the remainder of the season. 2023, 2024, 22 games. He started all 22 games, of course. He was averaging 32 minutes. He was averaging 24 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, and 1.8 steals when fractured his ankle. Of course, he has to have surgery on it, repairs the fractured ankle. The next season, 2024-2025, you could say that he came back too early. Maybe felt like he needed to get out there. But he's playing preseason, coming off of, ankle surgery, fixing a fracture. Sprains his left ankle, but he does come back. He plays longer, but then unfortunately, the surgically repaired ankle, he strains it, gets carried off, misses a couple games, comes back, plays more, but then the team decides to shut him down. And so the team shut him down for the remainder of last year and said, we are going to give him a full rehab cycle. Now, to me, when they shut you down to say they're going to allow you a full rehab cycle, that tells me y'all have been rushing him back. y'all been making him go early. And so you have to wonder, is he injury prone, or is he playing on a bad team that needs him out there, so they keep throwing him out there? But so far, out of 11 games this season, he's averaging 30 minutes. He's averaging 20 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 8.8 assists, 1.3 steals. I also think the Hornets aren't relying on him solely. They've actually built a decent team around him now, and the future could potentially be bright in Charlotte. But again, if you've had this team putting you out there early, you don't trust the training staff anymore. You've been trying to fight through these injuries. Maybe that timeline hasn't been fast enough for LaMelo, and that's why he wants out. Where I think if he stays in the next year or two, they could potentially be a contender. I think he's just unfortunately burnt out from being there. Our last one today comes from Andrew Marin 6172. He put, I thought the same. This is about PJ taking the last shots, us going down and losing. But he said, I thought the same. Why have two players not named Cooper Flagg take 2 threes when you're down 2 instead of Coop bully ball makes no sense. Coop getting to the hoop has been basically the only consistent offense this team has. Kid needs to let him try to get that game-tying bucket and then carry momentum into overtime. If you've watched this channel, you already know I'm 100% in on, clutch time is flag time. If you're not going to let him grow and you're going to have him keep playing second fiddle to other guys, then you're stunting his growth. Like, why not just let him do what he's shown that he can do? And if it's, hey, his right hand is still injured, his right thumb, so he didn't feel confident doing it, then, man, you need to let somebody know. Like, let us know that, he wasn't feeling 100%, so we deferred to PJ. Otherwise, it's making you look like a weak coach. So, I won't touch on that too much, just simply because y'all already know. I repeated ad nauseum that Flagg is the future, so we need to do what we can to help Flagg grow. Especially right now when there's no true, alpha, there's no true superstar on this team. Flagg's that guy. So, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Hopefully we pick up the dub tonight, but if not, at least we know we're about to see some Luka magic, and we haven't been able to see that in a while. So that's something I'm looking forward to. And also I'm just looking forward to, hopefully we see Flagg on LD. But I'll catch you in the next one. And make sure, guys, whether this was your first time, your next time, make sure it's not your last time. Hit that subscribe button down below. Peace.